of the President and Commander-in-Chief in matters of war, peace, national and global stability. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, the nation's shield bearer, and of course, the symbol of our national unity and strength of command. The service chiefs and heads of other security agencies here present. I also believe that these are guardians of the nation, who are not only defined by the stars on their shoulders, but of course, the sacrifices they make daily to keep awake in vigilance for us to sleep in peace. The National Coordinator of the National Counterterrorism Center, Office of the National Security Advisor, my principal, Major General A.G. Laka, whom I refer to the Sentinel of the nation. The PGSO, Special Advisors and Assistant to the National Security Advisor, permit me to quickly recognize the Special Advisor to Mr. President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanoga. Directors at ONSA and NCTC here present, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Each time we have an event here, it is for two reasons. The first one is either we are here to celebrate Nigeria's successes in the war against terrorism and other violent crimes. The second one is for us to also express our recommitment to issues of national security and safety of all Nigerians. And today we are here again for one of such. But for me, not to keep us longer than necessary, you will permit me at this point in time to invite a true face of Nigeria, a true face of resilience, the National Security Advisor, Malanu Ribadu, MNI, for his remarks. Sir, you're most welcome.
Sit down, please. Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, as a special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, our Chief of Defense Staff, service chiefs who are here with us, all of you are here, Director General of DSS, NIA, the Inspector General of Police, the Chief of Defense Intelligence, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Counterterrorism Center. I'm happy to welcome you all to the press briefing session. This briefing is organized to update you on the recent successes recorded by Nigeria in the ongoing efforts to decisively rid our country of terrorist groups. This press briefing is in line with our continuous resolve to keep the general public abreast with the efforts being undertaken by the Office of the National Security Advisor in conjunction with the services, intelligence agencies, and other key stakeholders. Today, I'm glad to inform you that we have successfully concluded a high-risk, intelligence-led counter-terrorism operation, which led to the capture of the top leadership of Jama'atul Ansarul Muslimina fi Biladis, Sudan, commonly known as Ansaru, Nigeria's Al-Qaeda affiliate. The group was first formed in January 2012 with a public declaration in Kano. It emerged as a splinter faction from Boko Haram, positioning itself as a humane alternative. However, its stated aim quickly turned into attacking Nigeria. Nigerian security agencies and operatives, civilian communities, and government infrastructure. The group publicly displayed the setting sun logo of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb, signaling its ideological and operational alignment with global jihadist movements. Over the years, Ansaru entrenched itself in both urban sleeper cells and forest enclaves across several cities in northern Nigeria and in forest-based enclaves, particularly around Kainji National Park, straddling Niger and Kwara states, as well as Benin Republic. The targeted operation, which was conducted between May and July 2025, led to the capture of 2 top Ansaru leaders who have been responsible for masterminding several terrorist attacks against Nigeria over the past years. The first is Muhammad Usman, otherwise known as Abu Bara Abbas Mukhtari, the self-styled emir of Ansaru. He is the coordinator of various terrorist sleeper cells across Nigeria. He is also the mastermind of several high-profile kidnappings and armed robberies used to finance terrorism over the years. The second is Mahmoud al-Nigeri, otherwise known as Malam Mahmouda, Abu Bara's proclaimed chief of staff and deputy. He is the leader of the so-called Mahmoudawa cell hiding out in and around the Kainji National Park, straddling Niger and Kwara states, up to Benin Republic. Mahmouda trained in Libya between 2013 and 2015 under the foreign jihadist instructors in Libya, from Egypt, Tunisia, and Algeria, specializing in weapons handling and IED fabrication. These 2 men have been on Nigeria's most wanted list for the years. They jointly spearheaded multiple attacks on civilians, security forces, and critical infrastructure. Their operatives include the 2022 Kuje prison break, the attack on the Niger uranium facility, the 2013 abduction of French engineer Francis Kolob in Katsina, the May 1st, 2029 kidnapping of Alhaji Musa Umar Uba, magajin garin Daura, and so many other terrorist incidents and attacks. They were also behind the abduction of the emir of Wawa, and they maintain active links with terrorist groups across the Maghreb, particularly in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. The 2 men who are wanted internationally are currently in our custody. The capture of Abu Bara and Malam Mahmouda, the group's leaders and deputy commander, respectively marks one of the most significant achievements to date in our ongoing effort to rid Nigeria of the threat of terrorism. The successful decapitation of the leadership of this dangerous franchise marks the most decisive blow against Ansaru since its inception. This stride has effectively dismantled its central command while paving the path for the complete annihilation of this group. This feat undoubtedly exemplifies Nigeria's advancing counter-terrorism capabilities. The precision operation followed months of deep surveillance, human intelligence, and technical tracking. which demonstrate enhanced sophistication and seamless interagency synergy. Let me use this opportunity to inform the public that in the course of the operation, our security forces captured and recovered valuable, actionable intelligence. These include a cache of materials and digital evidence, which are all now undergoing forensic analysis. The findings from the analysis are expected to support our ongoing efforts to exploit this success, bring them to justice, and completely annihilate the residual of Ansaru. Bring them to justice, like I said, and bring down the networks and disrupt their foreign collaborators. The capture of Abu Bara and Mahmouda signals the beginning of the end of, or end to impunity for terrorist leaders in Nigeria. Nigeria will continue to pursue extremists with precision, resolve, and unwavering determination. The fight is far from over, yes, but the fall of Ansaru leadership represents a decisive step forward. At this juncture, let me appreciate His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his leadership, for the strategic guidance and support to all, in all ramifications, which give us the impetus to continue to record successes. I must also appreciate the doggedness of the armed forces. Thank you very much. And all our intelligence and security agencies. Thank you so very much, all of you, who all work tirelessly, collaboratively to achieve this outcome. Thank you very much. In conclusion, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the media for your patriotism and relentless support to our drive to stamp out terrorism from our dear nation. Finally, let me reassure the Nigerian public, our public, Nigerians, that we will not relent in our drive to make Nigeria safe for all citizens. In recognition that national security is a shared responsibility, I urge all law-abiding citizens to continue to remain vigilant and volunteer timely information to security agencies for your prompt action. I want to assure you, Nigeria is in safe hands. Thank you very much, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And I'm thinking we still need to clap for that success story. It's a huge one indeed. And thank you, sir. And I must say that what the National Security Advisor has just done is part of the transparency and accountability in the war against terrorism and other violent crimes that this government stands for. Having said that, I also want to believe that the presence of the honorable ministers who are members of the Federal Executive Councils, the CDS himself, the service chiefs and other security agencies heads that are here speak volume that they are all working together and speaking in one voice. Having said that, all right. My colleagues, I know you'll be hitching because you know that our father is here in our profession, isn't it? The Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, who want to speak to us. And therefore, it is my honor and privilege to invite the Honorable Minister himself, Idris Malagi Ekenatia.
Thank you very much. The National Security Advisor, the Chief of Defense Staff, service chiefs here, Inspector General of Police, the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Strategy, my colleagues, the media. This indeed is a new dawn for Nigeria. I think what we have just witnessed is not often that you get it. The federal government, under the able leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has consistently maintained that Nigeria will indeed be free for all Nigerians. Therefore, what we have witnessed today is another indication of the commitment of not just the president, but all those who are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that lives and property are protected in this country under the able leadership of the National Security Advisor and all the service chiefs. We want to thank you for this wonderful feat, and I know that the world is watching. This indeed is big news for all of us. And to you, my colleagues in the media, let me use this opportunity to first reaffirm the commitment of the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and secondly, to plead with you. I have maintained consistently that you do not cede your front pages or your headlines to these terrorist criminals who are trying day and night to make sure that all of us do not find a place to sleep in this country. The gentlemen who are all seated here are toiling day and night to ensure that all of us sleep in our homes. Therefore, extolling or showcasing or promoting the activities of these criminal elements does not in any way help our dear country. We all know that these are the enemies of Nigeria, and they must be treated as such. Those who are fighting terrorism in this country are doing so, sometimes even paying the supreme price for it. They are your friends, they are your brothers, they are your daughters, they are your sons. I don't see how anybody will glorify anyone who is interested in killing any of the people that I have mentioned. It is incumbent on all of us to ensure that we work collaboratively together so that Nigeria can be free again. We have witnessed a gradual progression of the kind of effort that the National Security Advisor, the service chiefs, members of the armed forces are doing to ensure that all of us come together. And I think this is unique. What you hear outside is that members of security agencies are not united. Today, I have seen, you have seen, all of us have seen how all of them come together to ensure that Nigeria is indeed a peaceful place for all of us. We want to thank you, the National Security Advisor. We want to thank you, members of the armed forces, the security agencies, for this feat. Members of the media, I'm sure my colleagues will continue to give that collaboration, that cooperation that we all require. And call on all Nigerians. Fighting insecurity is not just that of the armed forces or the security agencies. It is for all of us. Let us rededicate our effort to ensure that we make our country safe again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Honorable Minister. And I think the briefing is detailed enough, colleagues. I want to say graphic details. We have much to write on and to report on. So on this note, we call that we stand up for the national anthem, please. Thank you.